The Dogs, in association with the British Greyhound Racing Board.
On the Dogs this week, it really is a dog's life for some of our retired racers. Action stations at Coventry, the semi-finals of the Nigel Flowers Coventry Derby. And young Midlands trainer Michael Harris is looking forward to his date with destiny.
For 5 long years she's graced the track, led from the front, come from the back, paid her way, she's earned her keep, and now they say, put her to sleep. For 5 long years she's thrilled the crowd, pleased her owners, made them proud, ran her heart out, gave her most, loved to be first past the post. No longer young and in her prime, now she struggles to the line, and those who've watched her all these years shake their heads and hide their tears. Those who know can't bear to see this brave old girl that used to be. The clock is ticking, she doesn't know, the decision's made, she's got to go. Her trust in people knows no bounds, the downfall of so many hounds. So now she's loaded up once more, she hops up through the open door. She thinks she's going to the track, but others know she won't come back. Her kennel mate waits patiently. The van is back, but where is she? He whines and paces, why so long? He doesn't understand she's gone. She'll never slip back through that door, the deed is done, she is no more. A few days later, far away, Grace begins another day. Oblivious to her destined fate, she skips out through the garden gate. We know she'll never understand, she owes her life to a kennel hand, and a few kind people who wouldn't stand by and let this grand old lady die.
CHERYL Miller has been running the Retired Greyhound Trust Crossview Kennels in Kent for some years now, and she firmly believes that every dog has a future after its racing career is over.
There's never any reason why anyone should dump or get rid of dogs without coming to the Trust or other charities, Battersea, Dogs Trust, Blue Cross. There are lots and lots of places that people can take dogs to who will take them in and will rehome them. The unfortunate thing is when people want to place a dog, they generally want it to go there and then. This isn't always possible. There may be a week's wait, there may be a couple of weeks' wait, but somebody will take them and somebody will help them. But they have to help us and be patient along the way too.
CHERYL has homed hundreds of greyhounds during her time at Crossview. One of the most popular questions asked by prospective new owners revolves around a certain 3-letter word beginning with C and rhyming with hat.
First thing people say about retired greyhounds and cats is, oh my God, that's it, absolute no-no. This is fallacy. We have homed so many with cats. I mean, we don't just take them around and say, here we are, there's a dog, get on with it. We do tests first. We put them into 3 categories. First category are very easy because they're actually frightened of the cat. The cat will always be the governor, the dog will back off, no problem at all. Second category, they're a little bit interested when the cat moves and that, but when you check them back and tell them no and do a bit of training with them, they'll be fine. Third category are what we call BHWs, bloody hard work. But having said that, 98% of dogs, all dogs, be it greyhounds or any breed, can be detrained if the people themselves have got the time, commitment and effort to put into it. But obviously, if it's a first-time owner, we would only consider giving them an easy one. If it's someone that's had greyhounds before and is prepared to work at it, then that's fine, it won't be a problem. We home loads with cats, it really isn't a problem. They also go with other breeds of dog as companion dogs. They are probably one of the easiest breeds you'll ever come across.
Paul and Jill Stanley, who lived just a few miles from Crossview, were bitten by the retired greyhound bug a few years ago. They had initial concerns about the breed, but are delighted that they overcame them and have taken in several ex-racers now.
I was always frightened of dogs before we got the first one, and even when we first got her I was a bit nervous in case she'd bite me or something. But when we went to the Retired Greyhound Trust, they said you can touch any dog and they're all absolutely fine, which I recovered from my fear very quickly. Then.
That's true, actually. It was quite surprising to both of us. We're not really dog people, hadn't been up to then. But a neighbour had a retired male greyhound, that we met them at the shops, and it was a lovely boy, and we said, well, never seen a greyhound close up, told us where to go. We went and had a look, and as you say, surprisingly, they all seem to want to get out and get at you and lick you and be stroked, and they're so people orientated. And CHERYL at Croffview said, "Oh, you stick your hand in anyone, they're not going to hurt you," and it's amazing. And suddenly, I don't know why, we just chose Ruby. I don't know, there was something about her.
Plenty to choose from. It's
at
quite
least.
difficult then.
Since the passing of Ruby, Paul and Jill have had 3 more retired dogs.
Our oldest dog is Tommy, who's 6.5, and he's a retired racer, and he retired due to a broken leg, and he's the most laid back, lazy dog you've ever met, apart from the odd 1 minute a day when he will run like the wind, but he's very calm and gentle.
She's our only bitch at the moment. She's Jasmine. She came to us surprisingly as a puppy at 4 months old, bred in Ireland. I don't really know why she didn't go into racing. She's got ear tattoos, but she turned up with her mother and 6 siblings, and we were luckily enough, we were there that day, and we were asked if we'd take one home. She's turned out to be the most beautiful dog. She's a little princess though, so she's quite spoiled. Yeah, she's 2 years old, and she's like our daughter that we never had.
Our third one is Ned Riley, who was a rescue dog from Ireland, and we turned up at the kennels one day to walk some dogs, and we saw this bedraggled, dirty looking white dog and they were looking for someone to take him home, and I took one look at him and thought, oh, we'll take him. And he's half Greyhound, and not quite sure what the other half is, but he's definitely a lot more lively than the other 2. But he's learnt really, really quickly as well, got a great nature.
There's another member of the family too, Bella the cat. She's so well liked by the dogs that Jasmine here often gives her a free wash and brush up. Although the presence of our cameraman also sparks some interest, as you can see.
It's all strange to them because they've only lived in kennels generally, and they don't know about carpets, they don't know about wooden floors, they don't know about stairs. They seem to always understand they can jump on a settee or a bed though. It's very strange. They just kind of take over, and you have to allow that or stop it straight off. But most of the people we know with the greyhounds have limits for the dog, you know, but we don't. They live here, they do what they like. I just think it's only fair, really. We've taken them on.
Are greyhounds a loyal breed?
Yeah.
I think they're very loyal. They attach themselves to you very quickly and learn quickly who's in charge.
How much exercise do they need?
The recommendation we were told to begin with was 2 20-minute walks a day, but they can have 20 minutes or a half an hour in the morning, and then normally they might have an hour or even a couple of hours in the afternoon. They only run for a very short time, so if they're walking, they're quite happy to just walk along beside you for, you know, a few hours if that's what you want to do. But if they end up with 2 short walks a day, they always seem quite happy with that.
But it's you that are dictating the amount of walking.
Yes, it is really. Yes, yeah. It depends on, you know, what you're doing one particular day, but you have to always make time to walk the dog. You can't just think, can't be bothered today, or it's raining or it's snowing. You have to walk them no matter what the weather.
Since filming, the Stanleys have taken in another retired dog. They're massive fans and would recommend greyhounds to anyone.
Oh, I would undoubtedly, and have done, recommend them to anybody. I don't know, it depends on the personal circumstances. I'm not a home checker, so you've got to take all that into account, but I don't know of any circumstances apart from perhaps if you live in a tiny little flat. But if you've got access to a green or a garden, I'd recommend them to anybody. They're absolutely brilliant pets.
Coming up after the break, we analyse the semi-finals of the Nigel Flowers Coventry Derby. Well, welcome back to part 2 of the Dogs. Coventry Greyhound Stadium is buzzing at the moment, especially on their Sunday night open meetings. And last Sunday, the track staged the semi-finals of the Category 1 Nigel Flowers Coventry Derby over 480 metres. In the first semi-final, Chris Lund's Yorkshire went to traps the 5-4 favourite. Westmead Liz was second favourite at 5-2. And away they go and racing up towards the first bend, and a quick start here from 2 Lodgeview Pete, leading up early from 3 Yorkshire. Arthur's around the outside comes 6 Clash Derby, heading down the far side. Oh, terrible trouble for Lodgeview Pete. Clash Derby now goes on from 3 Yorkshire, 4 Westmead Liz, and a break back to 5 Nikita Taiwan as they come round the second last bend. Westmead Liz being held up, Clash Derby in the way. Clash Derby leads, Yorkshire's trying to close on the inside, around the outside. Westmead Liz, she quickens up and she's gone for glory. Westmead Liz wins. Back in second place was Yorkshire. Westmead Liz recording 29.29. In the second semi-final, Penny's Axis, the sole wide seed, was sent to traps as the 2-1 favourite. Zigzag Dutchman, who recorded the quickest time in the heats, was second favourite at 5-2, but looked to have an awkward draw. And away they go and racing out towards the first bend. Good start from Bailiff Diesel. LAMBSTOWN Blue not too far away. Zigzag Dutchman making a beeline for the rails. Penny's Axis is handy. After these finding the pace a little bit too tough. Both 5 Ronnie's champion and 4 Fear the Best seem to check out awkwardly just off the second bend. 1 LAMBSTOWN Blue leading at this stage from Bailiff Diesel in second place. Penny's Axis around the outside, and then comes Ronnie's champion as they come round the final bend. LAMBSTOWN Blue could be a shock winner here. Still about a length and a half up. They're starting to close. LAMBSTOWN Blue holding on just from Penny's Axis and Zigzag Dutchman. LAMBSTOWN Blue winning at 11-1 in 29.61, beating Penny's Axis by half length. In the third semi-final, Westmead Joe, who looked so impressive when picking up Yorkshire in the first round, was sent off the even money favourite. The second favourite here was January Tiger. There they go. January Tiger a little bit awkward coming out of the boxes. Coventry Bees goes up the centre of the track and leads up early. Cleanest Lady in second in 2. Not getting a great run there, nor was Trap 3 Larkhill Jim, who cannoned into 5 Fear Ian. Down the far side they go. Coventry Bees has gone 2 lengths up. Westmead Joe, after a slow start, is making progress on the inside of Cleanest Lady. After these comes 3 Larkhill Jim. They come round the final bend. It's Coventry Bees out in front. Westmead Joe finds a way through on the inside. Westmead Joe beginning to grind it out to get up and win by a length from Coventry Bees in second, Larkhill Jim in third. Westmead Joe, they're recording 29.31, and he is undoubtedly the one they've got to beat in next Sunday's Nigel Flowers Coventry Derby final. £10,000 to the winner. He's drawn in trap 4. Coventry Bees run a bigger race there in trap 1. He's got that cherished red jacket again. He could be a major player with a solo on the inside. Penny's Axis also got a very good draw on the outside. So what can we deduce from the semi-finals we've just seen? Well, keep your eyes first of all on Coventry Bees in trap 1 at the bottom of the screen there. Turns right out of the traps, but at the winning line first time, he's clearly ahead. And as you can see in his semi-final, Westmead Joe was some 3 lengths behind Coventry Bees at the line first time. And he's bound to be last, as far as I'm concerned, on the dash towards that first bend again. Moving on, now Coventry Bees again taking more of a middle course, but just off the second bend he's still out in front. The next thing you've got to ask yourself, the early pace of Yorkshire, will he get a run, or will LAMBSTOWN Blue get in his way, drawn in trap 2? Penny's Axis in trap 6 should gain a clear run, one would believe, around the outside, but I'm afraid that Westmead Liz might get embroiled in some early bother around the first bend. She's that much quicker to the bend than her little brother Westmead Joe, and if there is bother, no doubt it will play into the paws of Westmead Joe. There's no stronger greyhound in my eyes in this final, and he powered past Coventry Bees. He's going to have to work hard and find the right spots to challenge, but it's Westmead Joe to win the Nigel Flowers Coventry Derby. He's going to have to go some, though, to pick up Coventry Bees, who would be a sporting bet at a large price, I'd presume, and Westmead Liz probably to recover to take third. Down the far side, and Smooth Destiny still out in front, keeping Middle the Wide out in front of Too Risky in second. Then comes 3 Raging Jack, and a break back the others headed by Zigzag Torfin as they come round the final turn. Smooth Destiny for trainer Michael Harris. It's one for the Midlands here. Smooth Destiny wins the Burn Group Trophy and wins it really impressively.
I've always wanted to have a runner on Derby night, you know, and then when we took him down for a trial, he did 27.86, which I thought was good luck for the first time round, but then hopefully, I was hoping more than anything else, because he hadn't had many races that the race manager would select him for the race, and then when I saw the race and he was in it, I thought, oh, I wish you hadn't have bothered selecting him, because I thought it was a really, really hot race. I think the best pups, I can't think of any other pup that wasn't in it that's better than them. So we went down there and he ran tremendous. He ran the bends brilliant, like he'd been round there. You know, this is only his second time round there, and he did a good 27.49, which is a good run. Second time round Wimbledon, and he's faster than the other 4.6s on the night, and he was impressive, you know. And as I say, we don't really know much about the dog because we haven't had him that long, but he looks like he's bred to, and he looks like he'll stay. So hopefully. But we'll have to take it each race as it comes, because if he's got that sort of pace over 4 bends, there's no point in running him over 6 bends. You know, there's just no point, because he's good enough to win a major 4 bends. We are lining him up for the Ladbrokes Golden Cup, you know, which we won last year with Bandit, and you know, hopefully we'll go in again with him.
Michael has come a long way as a trainer in a short space of time. After learning the trade as a kennel hand, he then took out a licence, although early on things were tough.
I was lucky because I knew Nathan Corden at Nottingham, and he gave me a job at Nottingham, so. But like, as you know, Nottingham's 75 miles away from me, so it was quite a long way, and I had an old Mercedes van that used to go 60 downhill. If you lean forwards, you know, it was really, really slow, and it took a real, real long time. I used to get in from the last race, I used to get in at 2 o'clock, and I had to be back in the kennels for 7, and there wasn't a lot of life, and there wasn't a lot of sleeping time, and it was hard work, because obviously I'd built it up to that time. I had 19 dogs, but I couldn't afford to pay anyone to work for me, so I had to do them all on my own. 19 dogs on your own. You try galloping dogs on your own, you know, you can't run up the gallop as quick as them. Well, I could some of them, and so it was hard work. But then luckily the job come up at Monmore 6 months later. They advertised for somebody with 35 dogs. Well, I didn't have that many dogs, but I thought, well, Monmore's just the ideal place. It's good money, it's a good contract. It's hard work, but it's a good contract. At least you get paid for it. And then I thought, well, I haven't got enough dogs, but I'll just get the interview anyhow, see what they require, show them around, because the trainer that was here before, George Anderson, he was a contract trainer at Monmore until he packed up through ill health, and so I thought, well, it's local, it's in the area, and when they come and interviewed me, I said, well, I'll probably be able to make it pay because I'm in the area. People will probably bring me dogs when I'm in the area, and so thankfully they give me a chance, and touch wood, it's worked. I'm still there.
Michael's kennels are at Cainton Manor near Newport in the heart of beautiful Shropshire countryside. His great surroundings, good facilities including a gallop, and things have improved for both the trainer and his staff.
I've got 6 staff here at the minute, and with nearly 60 dogs, so that's plenty, and you feel like you're doing some good with them. You can gallop them, you can swim them, you can walk them, groom them, and all the rest of the treatments. You can do all that, and they only work 5 days a week, because I think it's too much for staff to work 7 days a week. They get stale and fed up with the job. You know, I used to work 7 days a week, but you know, I still do now. But I go away when I want to go away. I'll go and have a couple of days off, and so yeah, see, it's great now. Yeah, but Monmore was definitely the turning point. If I didn't get the job at Monmore, I wouldn't be here now.
Last year, Lockteam Bandit beat the likes of Tuttle's Ronaldo and Zigzag Dutchy to win the Ladbroke Gold Cup for the Harris Kennel, and the old boy is still going strong.
Bandit's more of a Monmore dog. He runs Monmore. He's won a couple of times at Oxford in a maiden competition. He really likes Monmore. Different class of dog around Monmore. He can beat good dogs at Monmore. Take him away, he just doesn't seem to be the same. He's happy at Monmore. He likes the travelling. He likes the kenneling. He doesn't get himself worked up. And he runs the track super. 9 times out of 10 he comes out at Monmore, and he's a 28 dead dog around Monmore, which takes some doing. And so we'll hopefully keep him after he's come back from the split web. He'll go for the Gold Cup at Monmore.
Bandit's proud owner is former NGRC steward but famously World Cup final referee Jack Taylor.
The Gold Cup is something a bit special, and I was terribly surprised. The dog has done well, and he came through the grades very, very quickly, but to achieve that is something I never really imagined, so it was good for me, but more important, it was good for Michael, because the way he is and the effort he puts in, there's only one way you can go, and that is to get good and better dogs.
One dog that did slip through the kennel's grip was Derby finalist Amarillo Slim. Michael originally trained the dog before it was sold on.
Yeah, I was gutted really, but in a way, to be fair, when the owner brought him for £1,400 and we had him for 2 months, he won 3 out of 5 races for us, and then we put him in the racing post and he got 12 grand, he got 13 grand he got for it, but the grand final had to go back to the new owner, so he got 12 grand. Now when you think £1,400, turn it into 12 grand in 8 weeks, I would have said sell him as well, because it's a lot of money and there's a lot of it. Now the dog went on to be a Derby finalist, and then you'd be thinking, oh God, shouldn't have sold, what a shame. But to be fair, I said to Dave Yannis, who owned him, I said, it's big money, you can't afford to turn that down, because if something goes wrong with him, he could be worth £12 tomorrow. I said, so you've got to let him go. But then and we wished him all the well. I wish he would have. I like Westmead Hawk winning the final, because it was great for greyhound racing and great for a dog to do it twice. But quietly, I really wanted Slim to win it, because it would have been nice for him to win it, because it's like a rags to riches story, and it's,
Michael has a cracking graded strength at Monmore, plus a team of open racers, and one man sure to be proud of his progress is his former governor, Charlie Lister. But what type of dog does this trainer look out for above anything else?
I love sprinters. Always have done. I've always loved sprinters. When I said I was a kid and wanted to be a trainer, I always used to say to my dad, I want a kennel full of sprinters, the best sprinters in the country. I've always loved sprints, because it was a big thing when I was a kid. At Norton Keynes, they used to have 265s all the time. That's like the majority of the racing was 2 bends. So I love sprinters. And then worked at Charlie's, and we had a great dog. He was my favourite dog. I had him as a pet, King Oscar. After he retired, he come here as a pet, and lived here until he got ill. And I just love sprinters, so I'd love to win the Scurry, especially now it's at Perry Barr.
So, the Scurry apart, is Michael setting any other targets for himself and the kennel in 2006?
And I never do that, because I always say I'm setting my standard too high. Just go along with it, and you only disappoint yourself if you don't achieve it. So I'm one of these people, happy-go-lucky, just enjoy it while it's happening. Phenomenal, but we've had some good dogs like Sand and Thunder, that's won a lot of opens at Coventry for us, which has helped us loads, and 2 other dogs, and they've made a little name for themselves. They're no world beaters, but we don't go out to win the world with them. We just go little opens and take it in our strides, and if it comes along, if the dogs are ready, as I said, we'll train Bandit and Smooth Destiny up for the Gold Cup. They'll be left, and if they go out in the first round, they go out in the first round. There's nothing you can do about it. You just smile and just carry on, And I always said, when we won it last year, the papers phoned up and asked me, well, what chance do you think you've got? And I said, no chance. He's an outsider. He's a 12-to-1 shot. He's got there on merit. He's beat good dogs. It's just another Friday. It's just another bags day to us. He's going up on the bags fan. He don't get treated any different. We win it, great. We open the champagne. If he loses it, we just carry on with the lemonade and just carry on, don't you?
Now a quick jaunt through the open race programme. Thursday opens at Bellevue, Coventry, Reading, Rye House and Walthamstow. Friday sees the start of the Stadium Bookmakers Champion Stakes at Romford, over 575 metres, and opens at Doncaster and Swindon. Surprisingly, no opens advertised for Saturday, but on Sunday the Nigel Flowers Coventry Derby and the Silver Salver Sprint at Sittingbourne look exciting. Opens on Monday come from Crayford, Henlow and Nottingham. For all the latest results and the latest news, visit our website, thedogs.co.uk. Next Tuesday, we're live from Hall Green for the final of the Sky Bet Gimcrack. Make sure you join us then.
The Dogs, in association with the British Greyhound Racing Board.